All right, welcome to Mindset Monday. My name is Jacqueline Roy. Me and Amy Mark Charles and I, my mom's an English teacher, so she would always correct me, bring up. Amy Mark Charles and I are your superstar directors that run Mindset Monday, and we are so happy that you guys joined us tonight. I've said this before, but I used to kind of dread Mondays a little bit, and now I truly look forward to it. And I mean, if you guys knew how much I have to like go through to make sure I'm home for Mindset Monday. Just because with three kids now and three sports, like it's a lot, but I do it because I truly need it, for myself. I need to see you guys. You guys are like family to me, and I know Amy feels the same. So I appreciate you guys getting on tonight. We will record this and post it to our Mindset Monday Facebook page. So if you enjoy it tonight, or if you want to send it to downline, feel free to. But I talked to Amy earlier today, and I really, really wanted to talk about something we hadn't talked about in a long time. We have touched on it here or there, but I wanted to touch on branding and really get you guys thinking about how you're branding yourself, how customers are maybe seeing you, how your friends and family are maybe seeing you, making sure that you're posting not just about Scentsy, making sure that you watch what you're posting, because that can be a big, yes or no. So I think I just did the spotlight. Okay. Ooh, man, yeah, you can tell I haven't talked about makeup from earlier, so you haven't touched on my makeup from earlier today, but that's okay. So branding is what people think about whenever they see. Branding isn't just Scentsy. It's not. Scentsy should be part of your brand, right? If your customers have to question whether you are still selling, you are not branding yourself in your everyday life, with your friends and family, on social media. So branding isn't necessarily just Scentsy. It's how people feel about you when they see you or when they read your post. It's the kind of a reputation. Think about branding as like your reputation. I want you guys to think of it in that sense. To get your brand across, and we will relate this to Scentsy a lot tonight. You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent in your posting. You have to be authentic. People want to buy from people who they like and trust, and you want to make sure that you are authentically posting. For example, a good way to brand yourself, say I post something that you guys are like, oh gosh, I want to steal away. But I would encourage you to add a little bit of your own verbiage to it, right? And I'll tell you why too. If you don't, and a bunch of people copy my same post, the algorithm of Facebook isn't going to keep bumping it up. So it's really important that when you see a really cool marketing photo, or say Nina posts something that's really cool, or Cindy, they're not going to care if you steal it, but put your website with it, and make it your own, make your own wording, maybe some emojis, different things like that to help algorithm. And you're just branding yourself, right? You don't want to sound cheesy in your branding. You want to sound authentic and true to yourself. So think about that before you grab a post, maybe change some stuff up on it to make it sound like you. Some things I think that are really important. I always ask myself when I'm branding myself on social media, this might sound silly, but I always ask myself, would Heidi post this? So Orville and Heidi are two owners, and I know exactly how Orville and Heidi feel about a lot of topics, everything from religion to political to just a lot of topics. And I love their hearts. And I am very thankful that they don't post a lot of those views publicly, because there's a variety of Scentsy people. There's people on the right, there's people on the left, there's all kinds of religions and all kinds of beliefs. And I'm very thankful that they don't post their beliefs or their religion and that kind of stuff. And that's not saying that you shouldn't. If that's one of your pillars that we're going to talk about in a little bit is religion and faith, post away, right? I just mean more controversial things, right? Because when you do that, you're branding yourself to that, and your customers who may think differently, they may not buy from you anymore, right? So, and again, I'm not telling you guys what you can and cannot post. I'm just saying to think before you post, right? We all have those friends on social media who just word vomit, or they vent on Facebook all the time, right? Or they talk down about people on Facebook all the time. I don't think that's the best way to go about it if you're using social media for your business. make sure you are someone that people like and trust and want to buy from. And you are never going to have 100% the same beliefs as everyone else, right? And so again, I think it's really important. And this is for people who are um, using social media as a platform for their business. If you are using Facebook or Instagram or any of those, TikTok, for a social media platform, you have to know that you probably have a diverse group of friends, right? And the best thing that you can do in today's society is being accepting of people for who they are. They may not like what you like, but it's being accepting of that and being loving of that, not judging. I can tell you right now, I can look at people on here that I know that we, for sure, um, believe different things. Maybe have different political views. Does it make me like them any less? Absolutely not. Does it make me not want to post? There's my T-ball girl. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Okay, go get your iPad and you come in here and sit by me, okay?
Okay.
Ooh, yeah, you want to put her in? Ooh, Chris, that'd be awesome. Okay, go get in the bath real quick. Oh, you're blowing kisses. You got blow kisses. Okay, go get in the bath.
Purple.
Purple ponies for life. That's her team name. But with that being said, I am very thankful. I'm looking at a lot of these names. Like, hey, sissy, shut that door, please. Make him shut that door. No, 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 that door, that door. Shut that door. I'm very thankful that I'm looking at these names and looking at people that I know we probably voted different and we probably had different views, but I am so thankful that they're not shoving that on their downline, because I know that they have a big downline who probably don't believe that, right? And that's okay. That's why our world works the way it works, is that no two people think alike, no two people necessarily even have the same beliefs to the core. And so I think it's really important to stop before you post something. If you think it's going to be negative or controversial, ask yourself, is this my business page where I'm marketing and branding myself? And do you want your people to see you in that light, right? And maybe you don't care. Maybe you don't, but I just want you to make sure that you're branding yourself as someone that is accepting of others and loving of others, no matter where they are in a faith or belief or voting, or, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, and God's our only judge, right? But I think it's really important that you're branding yourself as someone that when people see your post on their newsfeed, they're like, oh, that's good stuff, right? Because we all have those people on social media that we're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she just posted that, or oh my gosh, her son's flipping off the camera, or all the different things. And so I think it's really, people are watching you. You might not know that, but they're watching you and they're seeing what you do, and they're seeing Jennifer, her with her pretty purple hair and posting stuff, and that's part of her brand. Part of Jennifer's brand is her purple hair, and I love it. And they're watching. I watch Jennifer from afar. You guys watch people. Someone said I unfollow people who are negative. I'm trying to stay in a more positive light. 100%, Brittany. And I even do that in my Cincy circle. So there have been certain Cincy groups that I've had to get out of because they're negative and toxic, and my heart doesn't do well with negative and toxicity. So if you're someone that your inner circle of Cincy that you talk to or whatnot is negative, find a new group. I will help you find a new group. I'll be in your group, right? So this kind of pertains to a lot of things. So I just wanted you guys to keep that in mind, because like I said, I always ask myself, would Heidi post this? And if I'd say probably not, because let's be honest, whether I agree with what Heidi believes in or not, all of my downline look up to her, right? And so I wouldn't want her influence, good or bad, to have an effect on one of my downline wanting to stay in a company or not. And you guys have that same influence, right? People are always watching. Okay, so I had to get that in there, because it's really, really important that you guys just think about it. So one thing I do want you guys to think about, and I want you guys to revamp this week, I'm giving you some homework, a couple different homework things, is I want you to revamp your story. So when you go to I love it, Carolyn. When you go to your login, you go to your accounts, go down to your personal website. Hopefully you guys all have websites. I really hope you do. If you're not, you're missing out. But go to your account, go to your website, and I want you to edit your story. I want you to update it. I want you to update your picture. I want you to update. So if you go to mine, I have a video on there about joining my team. And then I also, there's another question that says, why should someone join? And I talked about partnering a lot. I would love for you to partner with me, so you guys can feel free. It's roy.cincy.us. But you can go check out what I did, but update those. We haven't talked about that in a while. Your story is powerful. Whether you just joined, whether you've been in for 10 years, there's a reason why you're still in. There's a reason why. And you need to remember that reason. Maybe it's to fill up your gas tank. Maybe it's to um, buy groceries. Maybe it's to save up to pay off debt. Maybe it's to pay off student loans. Maybe it's to just buy your date night, have a date night every so often. Whatever your story is, it's powerful. And right now with, the way the economy is and the way prices are, they're increasing. It is really, really important for you guys to be sharing your story. When you get paid, whether you get paid $50, $100, $200, $500, that's money that you're making by being your own boss. That's money you're making with a flexible job. You know how many people right now need an extra job that they can work whenever and wherever because they're already working 2 or 3 jobs. So make sure when you guys get paid, your commission, right? Share your story. Part of your story is, hey, my name is Jess, and I just used my paycheck to fill up my gas tank. Income disclosure attached, because make sure you attach it. That's huge. Someone's going to go on Jess's feed and say, wow, like I don't have money to fill up my tank. I could use Cincy, Cindy could be using it to pay for her cell phone bill, but just by her saying, because of Cincy, I was able to pay my cell phone bill with my side fun gig. Like, this is great. Like, Cindy, by just putting that is so much more powerful. Those few statements, sharing her story, sharing maybe her why she's using Cincy to pay off some of the things here and there. Guys, that's huge. And that could be something that resonates with someone that ends up joining your team. So just remember, why you do what you do. No story is too small. But make sure that you're sharing that. That's part of your brand, right? Part of your brand is why you do what you do, right? And so make sure you're posting about it. Jess said my story is about how I found Cincy and it was the best alternative for epileptic. Yes, being epileptic who loves fragrance, but had where did the rest of that go? Where did the rest of that go? Okay, right here. But I have something like flames and seizures, potential disaster. But should I remove that because that we have candles now? You know, um, I you could change that to I love that Cincy has an alternative product to flame candles, not just flame candles, but products that I can. So I would keep that because I think that's a really powerful story, and I think that's I think that's I think that's great. I don't wouldn't change the part of why you love the flameless candles for sure. But I do think it's important for you guys to think about that. All right, so this is something I want you guys to take notes on. So when you're branding yourself on social media, there's an 80-20 rule. All right. 80% of what you should be posting should be, I'm going to give you 5 different ideas, or yeah, well, I guess 80-20 rules apply to 5 different things. Okay. 20% of it should be Cincy. The rest of it should be pillars of your life. And we'll talk about that in just a second. So if you are every day, you're posting Cincy every single day. And then every couple days posting something about home life or something non-Cincy. You're not doing your social media a service. You need to make sure you're posting other things. Because if you are nonstop every day, 5 times a day, a lot of people are just going to ignore your posts. So you have to keep your social media fruitful, right? You are way more than Cincy. You are way more than probably a mom or a dad or what you do for work, or you are way more than those things. So I'm going to give you some different topics of things that I feel like you should pick as your pillars. So you need at least 4 pillars other than Cincy. So number 1, lifestyle. Lifestyle could be baseball games, family, busy mom, maybe your, let's see, just lifestyle, things that you like to do every day, things that keep you busy, grandkids. It could be cooking. It could be, yeah, maybe you love to cook. Maybe you like to craft. Maybe you're a part of a running club. Maybe you love to work out. So lifestyle is things that like keep you busy throughout the week, right? It could be to deal with your kids, your siblings, your dogs, whatever that looks like. So that's lifestyle. So then value. So value is a big topic. You can add tips. You can add quotes. You can do life hacks, right? So anything that may add value to someone's life. For example, ChatGPT, I can literally type in what ingredients I have in my pantry and say, give me a recipe for tonight that's less than 10 minutes. Bam. That's a life value. That's a tip, a trick, that kind of stuff. Those are things that you need to be making sure you're sprinkling in here and there. Another thing is you need to be telling a story on your social media. So this is number three, telling some type of story, maybe why you started Scentsy, maybe a win you had this week, maybe a struggle you had this week. By being authentic, you share both, right? You don't just share the wins, you share the struggles as well. So, maybe you can talk about how you were changing out your wax and you spilled it all over the floor or something, sharing a story. Maybe you talk about how you burnt um, you burnt the eggs or whatever it may be, because of your kids, you got distracted and you dropped something on the floor or whatever. But it's telling a story that people can relate to, a win or a loss. So think about the things throughout the week that you maybe today's Monday, right? I've got a great one for this. So we're on my way to my parents' lake house for spring break, and we just stopped at the gas station. And McKinley got a full thing of apple juice. I should have shared this on social media because this is a great everyday thing that happens to people. And so I made a stop, and she had opened up the apple juice. Granted, I just had my car cleaned at Charlie's. If you don't live in Oklahoma, Charlie's is a car wash that will literally clean your entire car for $25 on the inside. Will vacuum. I know Nina's like, oh my gosh, you need to open a Charlie's car wash, Nina. For $25, they will vacuum. They will rub everything down. We have WeatherTech mats, wipe the dash. I mean, they do. There's like 5 of them that just, and it's brilliant. Well, I'll treat myself to that every so often because my kids live in my car. And so I went and paid, got it done. It's looking great. We're loading up the kids. Sissy's got her apple juice. She puts it in her lap without the lid, and we make a stop, and it's just like, it's like a running faucet behind me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, was that your whole apple juice? I'm sorry, mom. I'm sorry, mom. And the boys are like, McKinley. I'm like, easy on her, right? I mean, literally, she has a snack bag. We have a snack bag packed. It's like covered in apple juice, like the mats are. So I like pull over. Luckily, we're by my friend's hair salon. So I ran in and got, because we're still in Piedmont, I ran and got paper towels and I'm cleaning it up and it's just sticky. And anyways, so that's an example of sharing wins and losses throughout the week, sharing stories, right? It can be something like apple juice spilled. It could be something like you spilled coffee all over your shirt. It could be something like I dressed McKinley for her brother's baseball game and she put on a shirt and had a big old stain on the front. I mean, this was pre-game. Like that comes after she's playing in the dirt. And so just things like that. I think it's really important to share stories about your life. I think about like Delinda's on. I think about when she shares her weight loss stories, like that's not necessarily the category of lifestyle, right? It's, she cooks for her family and she has all these lifestyle things that she does. But whenever she gets to talking about her weight loss, to me, it's a story. She shares pictures and it's very captivating. It's something I'm hanging on to and just want to keep reading. Number 4 is engagement, polls, questions, this or that. You got to be asking engagement questions. If you noticed last week, I asked on my social media about who likes this or what do you think of this warmer? And it was the seashell warmer. And I had so many comments, and then it must have pushed it up on the algorithm. And I had 3 people message me saying they want that warmer. And so it's really good to do poll questions. I love doing things like, hey, if I can get, if I can get 20 likes, I'm going to post my absolutely favorite scent from the new catalog that you have to try. People will literally like and then just stalk that post until you get to 20 because they're so nosy and to see what scent this is, right? Do things like change out your wax and maybe do like a fun little photo and say, if anyone can guess this wax, I'll have a price for you. I don't know. You can do something fun, but you can give them a list of like 10 cents and maybe you just show a pink wax and then just see what they come up with, right? So do polls like that. Ask questions like which warmer would go in this living room, right? Go to ChatGPT, find a cute living room, find 2 completely different warmers, have ChatGPT give you a photo of it, and then ask, right? People like to be heard. I can't remember if it was Delinda or someone just recently, but they asked something about, might have been Delinda, what was the last photo you took in your phone? And I love to go through, and because I'm nosy, you guys are too. I can't be the only one, right? Jennifer's nodding, Tammy's I think nodding. Okay, I can't be the only one. Yes. So I love to go through those posts and see other engaging posts, like polls and questions asked, just because people want to talk about themselves. If your social media is all about you and it's never asking questions or never asking this or that, it's not going to be as engaging, right? And so I saw Castellita's post last week. How many years have you been with Cincy? She had like 200 comments, you guys. Like, so cool. People want to share that, right? Maybe you ask on social media as part of this. This is number 4 engagement. Is what was your first childhood memory, right? And people love to share about their first childhood memories, right? And what was the best vacation you ever went on as a kid or as an adult? Maybe we were broke growing up. So we went to Pikes Peak one time, and and then we'd go to the lake some, but there were 7 of us. So to go anywhere was expensive. And my brother Brian almost fell off of Pikes Peak because he got close to the edge, and that was a whole nother story. But it's really important that you're asking engaging questions because people want to talk about themselves. So I would try to brand yourself with asking questions and really truly getting to know people. If Jennifer's asking an engagement question on her social media, I hope if she gets 10 responses, she goes back and replies to each person. So if you notice on a lot of my social media posts, if Nita comments anything, I will usually comment something, thank you, anything after her. And I think that it makes them know that I see them. So if you post, hey, what's the last picture you took in your phone? Comment when people post something about them. I love this picture of your kids. Your dog looks so cute in this, right? The more you engage with people, the more they're going to engage back because they're going to see you as hearing them, right? Another big thing is part of branding yourself. We've talked about, being positive. We talked about as much as you can being non-political, which I know some people feel in their heart that they have to post everything. But I also try to look at it from both lens and say, would I want the people that I look up to be constantly posting negative or constantly be posting political? Absolutely not. Like, there's so much negativity and hate in this world that like someone said in the chat, I want to surround myself in my news feed with stuff that's going to do my heart good and not bring me down. So just keep those things in mind as you're branding yourself. So we talk about lifestyle, posting things about just your everyday, your busy mom on the run, your work, things that just keep you really busy. We talked about value, sharing life hacks, right? Sharing quotes, things like that. We talked about sharing your story, your wins and struggles throughout the week. When you have a struggle, post it because people are going to relate to you. Engagement. We talked about posting polls, questions, this or that, just engaging your followers. And then last, this is the 20%, the product. This is where you're going to post. Now you can incorporate Cincy into any of those other things, right? If you are truly living and breathing Cincy, you're going to incorporate into, you may take a cute photo of your kid or your animal with a warmer in the back. That's beautiful. So you can incorporate Cincy into all of those, but make sure that you are doing separate Cincy posts, right? You are doing branding posts, new releases, restocks. Maybe you do a product live. Now we can sell live on social media. You can go live and you can talk about products that you have on hand. Now, I do want to give you a tip. If I hold up, I don't have any product in my room right now. There's a room spray. So if I hold up my room spray and I just said, guys, this is one of the best room sprays. It's Luna. It is fresh. It has a little bit of freesia. It's just, if I'm trying to buy a gift for someone, I typically pick Luna because everyone likes Luna. Let me know, comment below if you want it. Now, I can't say I have got 5 of these in stock. Let me know if you want one of them, but I can say comment if you want one down below. And then if I do have 5, if 5 people do it, I can message them and say, I've got 5. Would you like one of them? So you can do things like that. So going live is important. Going live on your story. I will say, when you're branding yourself, a lot of times, I learned this from Wendy Robinson. A lot of times it's, if you do a Facebook post, always add it to your story or make it a reel. You're going to get 100 times more views typically from reels and from stories. So if you are only doing posts on your social media, you are missing out big time. I think reels, actually, from what I've seen lately, are bringing in the most views. So even if it's of you changing out your wax, do a little video of you like with your cotton and then came back to yourself. I love this scent, get the cubes, you can add music to it, things like that. I am not creative and I still do reels, and I'll have a reel that has 1,000 views. And then I'll have a post on social media that's super creative that has 20. So I encourage you, as part of branding yourself, brand yourself on social medias. I use hashtags. Hashtags are huge. If you'll look at my reels or my stories, a lot of times, especially my reels, I'll do like hashtag busy mom, hashtag baseball mom, hashtag viral, hashtag funny, just basic ones like that, just to tag people on funny things. So part of branding yourself, again, is just really getting yourself out there. And when you think of branding, I want you to think of your reputation. I don't want you just to think Scentsy. I want you to think of your reputation. What do your friends and family and customers and downline and upline think of you from what you post? Are they getting a good picture of you? Are they only seeing negative? Are they only seeing one aspect of your life? Are they only seeing the highlight reel? Show them all of it, right? Show them the wins, the losses. Be authentic, be you. But brand yourself as not only a kick butt Scentsy rep, but brand yourself as a whole person that people like, love, trust, and they want to buy from you, right? That's all a part of branding. It just can't be Scentsy separate from your everyday life. It's got to be together. People want to buy from you. I'll give you an example. So there is this rep, I won't say her name, but she messages me all the time about this makeup health product, and it's so expensive. And I just have no desire for it. And I've told her that before, and she keeps messaging it. And then all her social media is this and this. And she's got the cutest kids. And I mean, she's a great person, but she comes across on social media a little negative and a little pushy. And so I think if she were to brand herself by more of busy mom life, kids, this and that, ups and downs, lows, good thing, positive quotes, engagement, things like that, then I maybe would have a different view of her, and I would maybe read her text message a little bit differently, right? So just keep that in mind. If you're using your social media for Scentsy and for your business and to grow your business, then make it your social media platform be something that people gravitate to, not roll their eyes at, right? Be that platform that people are proud that you're their friend. Be that platform that you're like, I'm having a bad day, but I just read Dylanda's quote and I'm pumped, ready to go. I had a bad day, and I saw Tammy post that she had a bad day on this too, but you know what? She's turning it around. Like, be that relatable person, but be someone that people are like almost nosy on what you're doing, because you do post more than one pillar. You do post more than one aspect. You are engaging. You are this. That's what branding is. It's your reputation, and it goes with you for a long time, right? And the better reputation that you have, again, the more people will gravitate towards you, right? I look at a lot of you on here, and I see like AD Mitchell. I don't know if you guys know AD Mitchell. She's a superstar director, and every time any of her friends have a birthday, she posts a really goofy video, and it is the coolest thing. And I look forward to it. I saw Peg said, "I wish everyone a sensational birthday. Now it's a joke, and they look forward to it every year." You're branding yourself, Peg. That is awesome. Carolyn said, "I've had people comment that they look forward to my engagement post." I mean, that's amazing. My favorite post was finding out people's stripper name. I had 150 comments. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like, find fun ways. You can literally go to ChatGPT and say, I need 5 really good engagement questions for Facebook. And it will give you some of the most engagement things, right? And then if you have a post that's really engaging, be smart, right? Next time you post about Scentsy, because right now your social media platform is going to be up towards the top, right? So that's what I mean by not just posting all Scentsy. If you have a really good engaging post, also pay attention to what time posts typically go viral. You can go to ChatGPT. Amy's posted the things before, but you can go to ChatGPT and say, what times of the day, I live in Oklahoma, what times of the day do people typically look at Facebook? You know, what times of the day do posts typically get engagement? And then strategically post your product post there, your new releases there, with other things trickled in between. Excuse me, I have the tickets. Jack, do you pay for I pay now. I was having it create so many images that it would be like, oh well, we are thinking about you, but you can't create anything for 2 more hours. And so I finally was like, oh, I mean, I literally use it from recipe. Like today I put in McKinley's purple pony schedule because it's online. I said, can you condense it to one to send to friends and family? A minute later, I had to schedule. So I use it for everything. We're thinking about redoing our kitchen. So I've been taking photos and asking it to make my countertops navy or not now, my cabinets navy. Send me a picture. So I use it. I use it so much. So I broke down, and I spend $15 a month. But I use it. I use it so much. The other day I was like, hey, can you tell me all the places nearby that give free offers for your birthday? That way I could take my son on his birthday to all the things he gets free things at. So you can use it for everything. I use it for business. I just created a flyer for my Scentsy business on it. I just had it design a new business card for me that I then sent to Vistaprint. I'm writing it all off as marketing too, just FYI. How many posts a day do you do? God, it just kind of depends. We just built the retirement plan. I love it, Peg. It really just depends. Like tonight, Sissy had her first T-ball game. I'm gonna have to post her video. That was hilarious of the entire dugout yelling K-pop, singing the song, and then she's over there and she hits. And so, I mean, I'll post. I feel like I post when I'm inspired. I probably post 2 or 3 times a day. Sometimes less, sometimes more, right? Depending on what's going on. But I would say post if I don't post every day, I'm doing stories every single day. So there won't be a day that goes by that you won't see a story or a reel from me. To me, that's even more engaging. So if you look any day you click on my profile, I should have at least a couple stories up. As far as posting on my wall, I would say probably 2 or 3. But again, it totally depends on what's going on. If I'm trying to highlight the clearance section on my like that's something too that you guys could do tomorrow. Our clearance section has so many things added. They added a ton of crap at the beginning of the month, right? So do this big sale, right? Have ChatGPT create a sale image, a clearance sale, and say, everyone, text your customers. Since he's doing a huge clearance sale, go to my link. There's things that are 50% off or 40% off, and it's incredible. Go check it out. So I may do that and highlight all my customers. And then I might do another post of actual stuff that's in the clearance. So just things like that kind of depends on what's going on, but you can bet my third post after that is going to be family related, baseball related, busy mom related, something funny, a quote. Like it can't be all Scentsy all day, all the time, because you're just going to lose people that just don't care, right? You got to pull them in with those other pillars. You got to pull them in with the engagement post. And your engagement post should be weekly. And honestly, if you can get to where you're doing engagement posts twice a week, 3 times a week, you're going to get more and more followers because people like to talk about themselves. They like to talk about themselves. So if you're not getting much engagement on social media, change it up. And for a couple weeks, just post an engagement thing, maybe even every day and just see, you know. Does the 80-20 rule apply to your personal page, VIP page, or business page? So 80-20 rule is just my personal page. As far as my VIP pages and all that, it's all Scentsy. I mean, I'll post, like if we have a customer that has a birthday or things like that, but on my VIP pages, those are Scentsy related. So I post a lot of different product. I'll highlight different product, that kind of stuff. But my personal page is the only one that I do really 80-20. And most of my customers, if they're on a VIP page, where I'm friends with them, I try to friend all my customers. I put there's a local salon up here, and I just brought her. I love honeysuckle. I'm loving the honeysuckle smell. I'm loving the honeysuckle candle. It is extremely strong, and I love strong. And so I brought them. They have a air quad up there, and I gave it to her for free. I wrote it off, and I used Host Rewards like months ago. And so every month I bring her a different pod to highlight up there. And so I just brought her honeysuckle pods. And so I went back up there because I'd gotten a honeysuckle with my credit that the party I just entered last week. And I said, hey, I know you have the pods, but I'm going to give you a candle too. Here's samples. Here's my catalogs. Please hand this out. Well, I walked in and 2 of the girls were like on me, like, oh my gosh, we love this honeysuckle. I've got to order it. Can you put me down? I want 5 pods for this, and I want this, and it comes in a bar of wide warmers. I want 5. So just in that interaction, um, so I asked them, I said, okay, Ashley, will you post me on your social media page? She was like, absolutely. And so I think it's really important. Like that's part of my brand. When I walk in her salon, I'm branded as a Scentsy girl. And then hopefully, now we're Facebook friends. Then they're saying that I'm also more than just Scentsy, right? I'm a mom. I'm a busy mom. I'm hopefully a good wife, all the different little things, business owner. I'm clumsy. I make mistakes. I occasionally have done this probably 7 times, that I put my outfit on backwards. And you're gonna laugh. But on multiple Cincy cruises, non-intoxicated, I've showed up to dinner and just with my dress, and it was opposite. I don't know, guys. I just get ready fast. I multitask, and that's what happens. So, I know some of you can attest to that when you've cruised with me or been on vacations with me. It's happened a handful of times. So, but I think it's important that people get to know all aspects of you because that's just further getting to know you and your heart. And hopefully that's a good thing. So, gosh, we're at 8:37. Um, Amy, unmute. Do you have anything that you want to add to branding? And I'm going to look through to see if I covered everything. Oh, I do want to add why Amy's unmuting. Things not to post about. Only posting when you need money. I think that's a given. Copy and paste corporate graphics with no personality. Don't do that. Who wants this? No, add some personality to it. Trying to look like everyone else, being inconsistent, or not showing your face. I hope you guys show. Oh, Nina's like, I don't want to do that. Come on, Nina. Show that face, girl. You have a beautiful face. Unmute and tell us why. Unmute. You have a great face. You have great skin. You're still muted. You don't know how to unmute. She doesn't know how to mute. Everyone look at me. Put in the chat how beautiful your skin. You need to be going.
Okay, I figured it out. I'm on an iPad. That's why.
Okay.
No, I show my face. I tell everybody that I talk to, my team, other consultants who reach out to me, this is your brand. This is how people know you. Guys, show your face.
Yeah.
I hold a fragrance flower right here. Take a picture, post it, add personality. It's so easy to sell when they can see you loving what you do.
Yep. That is so true, Nina. So you are passionate because that's what you preach. I love it. Yes. I love it. It's so true. I mean, and so many of you guys are like, I think of Amy Mark Charles, one of her brands is her daughters. She's got these beautiful daughters with this beautiful hair, and she's a girl mom. And, having one girl that's sassy, I can't imagine having 4. And, that's part of her brand. And that's really cool. And you'll see Amy post about her family and homeschooling. That's another pillar of hers, right? Keeps her busy. And so I love that Amy also will post stuff that's just not Scentsy. And I think it's really interesting. I think you get to know people better that way. And again, all of that is your brand. It's you, your reputation. So before you post, what kind of reputation are you putting out there? Amy, did you have anything you want to share?
Yeah, I like that you say, and I feel like I've really let go of posting and like really intentionally doing, social media stuff like I used to. But I love that you said, talk about putting your clothes on backwards and showing like all the day-to-day things because that's what, oh, here I am. Because that's what people are really interested in. And I think that they like to know the stuff that makes you vulnerable, like the saying that your house is messy or saying that you missed an appointment because you just forgot, or like all those things make you a real human. And I think that people identify with that and that makes them, you just seem like more of a real person. And so they feel like they know you better because they do the same things. And I will say, as my kids have gotten older, I don't post them as much. I ask permission before I post pictures.
They you too, because Jackson's like, "Why did you post that, Mom? I look awful."
Well,
I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
I ask now, can I post this picture? Because of that, they're humans now and they're getting older, and so it's a little different. Not my little ones; they don't really care, whatever. But yeah, it's a little different because I can't post every single thing that happens. I ask, "Is this an okay picture?" And so anyway, that's where I am. That's where I'm at, and it's changed. Um, but yeah, I like the idea of having like the things. So when you're like, I don't know what to post, you can just go back to, okay, homeschool, plants, now I'm getting a garden again. just having those things, or like if you like thrifting, if you like reading, sharing book recommendations, stuff like that. Just think of the things that make you you. And one of the things I remember doing, the last thing, one of the things I remember doing a while ago, and maybe this would be a good little thing for you to do to get engagement, but ask your friends on your social media, on your Facebook, just say, hey, when you think of me, what are like three things that you think of? Like, what are the things that you know about me? And so they're going to say, like, thrifting, plants, dogs, whatever. And when people give you those ideas, it'll help you kind of narrow it down more. Like, oh yeah, that is me. Garage sales. That's I should share all those things more often.
I love it. Brittany, I saw you raised your hand. Did you?
Yeah, I have literally, I can't talk. Um, I have a question. Like, when you do post about now, my mind is starting to go with all these different ideas of like what I can post. Recently, what things have happened. Like, I just posted something. How long, like, in between posts, can you like? Should I wait?
Should you wait? I think it just kind of depends. Like, I want to say, I mean, if you're posting a few times a day, that's not too much, right? If you have a post that goes viral, if you do an engagement post that does really, really well, and people are just commenting and commenting, I would probably wait about an hour or less and post a Scentsy product post, right? A creative one, right? Or something like, hey, I've got these three bars. Um, Comment with which one I should melt. The highest comments, I'm going to put that in my warmers, right? So just I think if you have a really good engagement post, I think within an hour, post some type of product, some type of you maybe pouring laundry liquid into your washer. This is my favorite smell. My kids love it. The teachers comment on it. So some type of creative marketing product post that's non-salesy, but you're sharing it with people. I think if you can do that within an hour or so of a really engaging post, you're gonna have a lot more people view it. Now, I wouldn't do an engagement post and then be like post, 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 post. You know, people are gonna ignore it after the third thing. So I would probably say stories, you can do as many as you want. Stories, they're there for 24 hours. So if you're someone that likes to post a lot, do an engagement post, but put 10 things on your stories, right? Share things on your stories, share reels. Those are the things where you can just vomit product and vomit things and it's okay. But your wall, I shouldn't have to scroll down and it take me 5 minutes to get through a week. Or I shouldn't have to scroll down. You know what I mean? Like, give me
Mhm.
glimpses of your life and highlights and lows and struggles and wins and tips and tricks and engagement. But make it to where it's a couple posts a day. And I'm not the social media guru, but I just know when I'm looking at other people's pages and interest to follow, I kind of look back and if it's a variety of things, I'm like, man, that's pretty interesting, right? They posted all this in a week. But if I'm like scrolling through this in all 2 days, and oh my gosh, they post all the time. So I don't know if that helps, but
Like, so most of my time, most of where I have a lot of time is at night.
yeah.
Um, and so like I had just posted something, so I should have like waited an hour, maybe hour and a
I mean,
half
whatever you want to
from
do. Like,
the post.
if you're just posting a few times every day, or well, I don't think it's bad to post back to back. I really don't. I just think it's if you're posting 15 times a day or 10
Right. Well,
about
yeah,
sense.
no.
Yeah. But if you only have time in the evenings and you want to share a little bit about your life and then some product, that's okay to post back to back. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my question right there.
And I did, Amy, didn't you share a graphic too about where people the highest time for people to watch um something on social media is like mornings and evenings, right?
I knew sometimes a long time ago, but I don't actually know what they are now. Maybe it was somebody else.
I saw a post. I'm going to ask my chat GPT what the highest times for engagement are and see if there's and I'll post it on our mindset. Um, but I want to say it was like early morning, like 7 a.m. and then like at night. So like when people first wake up and they're checking social media, and then when they're going to bed, I think we're the two highest. But I'll ask Joe, my chat GPT dude. Joe's my assistant. He's great.
It used to be around lunchtime too,
Yeah.
like 11 o'clock in the morning or something before people get a break.
Mm-hmm. Jamie said, I
I
think it's
noticed, I noticed what sometimes when you go to post something and like, or you want to schedule it,
mhm.
it'll give you those active times too.
Yeah.
I can't remember which if it's on all of them or if it's on a certain platform.
Yeah.
But it'll it'll tell you, okay, this might be the best time to do it.
Someone said
And
also,
what days.
sir, what were you going to say? Denise said posting at odd times, not like on the dot. Example, posting at 11:23 or 4:37, etc. So if you schedule stuff, maybe don't post at like 11 o'clock or this and that. She said that typically gets more. Tammy said I usually wait 2 to 3 hours depending on how much feedback I'm getting on the last post. I agree with that. I don't typically post really, really quick. Denise said from Chat GPT, morning 7 to 9, people waking up, midday, like Amy said, 11:30 to 1:30, evening 6:39. Best days to post are Tuesdays through Thursdays. Strongest overall engagement. Sunday evening, surprisingly high. Okay. And you know what? Play around with it, right? Engagement posts are probably going to be your most posts that people want to comment and talk about themselves. So do an engagement post in the morning, and then tomorrow do an engagement post at lunch, and the next day do an engagement post at dinner, and just see the differences, because your friend group could be different from mine. Your friend group may be in bed by 8 o'clock. They may be in up till 11, so play around with it too. I know we went over. Amy, do you have anything else you want to share?
No, I think that was a lot to take in.
A lot.
Yeah. And we don't have a call next week.
No, next week is leadership. So
We'll
we'll
start back on
see
the
you
6th.
on, yeah, you said the 6th?
Mhm.
Okay, on the 6th. So we love you guys. I will record this and upload it, but I am excited. I looked at all who was on tonight. So I'm going to be a creep this week. And I took a screenshot, and I'm going to see all your social media engagement posts. And I will say one last thing to end it. When you see your Scentsy sisters and brothers post Scentsy post or live post, comment and give them some love. The more, like if Amy posts anything about Scentsy, I'm going to comment, I love that scent, or that's my favorite. Like help each other out. That helps us all out. So if you see any of us posting Scentsy or just life stuff, like engage, because that really does help. And I know Amy and I will try to do the best too at engaging in everyone's post as well. So awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to get off here, and hopefully my sister put McKinley to bed. She did give her a bath, so that was great. But I love you guys. We'll see you. Amy and I will see you on April 6th. So you guys have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.
Thank you all.